If you're a sports fan, make sure you go check out SportsCastr for all of your sports news. Whether you are a Patriots fan or not, this is the perfect way to meet all of your sports needs and is a platform I personally use myself in case any of you guys want to catch me live talking about training camp recaps, etc. I'll leave a link in the description below. What is up, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video. And the New England Patriots, as I'm sure you already know, have signed free agent wide receiver Antonio Brown. Now, if you have been around my channel for a while, you've been a supporter for me for a while, and you know my channel, you know that I am pretty good at getting videos out on time, getting them out as the news drops. For example, the Josh Gordon video, and just a multitude of other videos. I feel like I'm pretty good at getting these videos out as they happen, but sadly, I was not around today, so I was not able to record the video when it happened, so I do sincerely apologize to everyone for getting this video out a few hours late. But getting it out a few hours late is always better than getting it out days late or even never getting it out. But again, the New England Patriots have signed free agent wide receiver Antonio Brown, and you heard that correct, okay? This isn't a dream. This isn't you daydreaming. This is reality. The Patriots have signed AB. And in my personal opinion, when I heard about this news, I was just completely shocked. I do want to thank everybody also that did send me DMs. Although I did already know about the news, I always do love when you guys send me this stuff because I love seeing how hype you guys are. But when this happened, I was actually out in public, and I basically just threw a fit. I mean, not in a bad way. I just threw, like, up in my chair, and just couldn't believe my eye. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I just did not think that it was actually going to happen. More specifically, I didn't think that it was going to happen so soon. And the terms of the deal is probably one of the biggest things that have shocked me. And that's that the Patriots signed him to a one-year deal. Now, the one-year deal, that's not really shocking. Now, of course, we would all like to have Antonio Brown on the team so much longer, but it makes sense that they're just kind of signing him to a one-year deal right now, especially after everything that has happened with him. But they're signing him to a $15 million deal in which he will have a $9 million signing bonus. The Patriots only have about $6 million in cap, and that is the updated amount of money. So New England's really going to have to make some adjustments to, their cap money in order to make this actually work. And the Patriots always love to ride into the regular season with a little bit of maneuverable money in case there's any last-minute things that they want to do. The Pats have already extended a contract with Jonathan Jones, in which you'll get a separate video on that soon. But they're going to have to continue to either, 1, trade players, 2, release players, or 3, they're going to have to continue to extend contracts, which obviously I think we are all looking more so for the third one than, of course, the first 2. Another thing that this means is that the Patriots do have to release somebody. Who it's going to be is going to be a very interesting thing. And right now, guys, I don't know. Because with Antonio Brown, the Patriots are not just getting a guy who is an elite top wide receiver. They're also getting a guy who can return kicks, who can return punts, and is very, very deadly at doing so. So what I will say is that where does this leave Gunnar Olszewski? Okay, we love Gunnar. The Patriots love Gunnar. But at the same time, keep in mind, the Patriots did originally cut Gunnar Olszewski. Does this put him in a weird position? I'll be really curious to see how that works out. And then, of course, N'Keal Harry at some point is set to return this season. Are the Patriots going to carry that many receivers? Something else I do want to answer is that some people have asked me, some people have asked other reporters, is he going to be able to play in the game versus the Steelers? And if he isn't, can he at least stay on the sideline, suit it up? To both of those questions, no, he's not. He's not able to stay on the sideline during the game, and no, he's not going to be able to play in the game, and that's because he was not on the Patriots' actual roster as of 4 p.m., which means he will not be able to play in the game. But he will be able to start going into the facility. He will be able to start training with the team come Monday morning, and so you will see him week 2 in Miami versus the Dolphins. I don't expect this to be one of those things like the Patriots did with Josh Gordon at all, where they wait a couple weeks to play him. 1, because Josh Gordon was dealing with an injury. 2, because Josh Gordon was also dealing with mental problems at the same time, and they were working a lot with him with a kind of conditional type of coach, a personal type of coach. Although Antonio Brown is coming into the process late, I do fully expect him to play week 2. Now, next up is, for some people that don't know, why was he released by the Oakland Raiders? And that's something that I want to touch on in case you have not watched my previous video in which I talked about, earlier today, should the Patriots sign Antonio Brown? And Bill Belichick, you did it to me again. I release a video on a guy, and then right after, you answer my question after I upload this video. But I'm sure a lot of you know about the Antonio Brown problems. It's been an Antonio Brown media attention type of offseason, and that's why a lot of people are super skeptical about him. If he had not become what the media is calling a diva, then literally no one would have a problem with Antonio Brown coming to the Patriots. In fact, everyone would be freaking out. So as we all know, the Steelers were looking to trade Antonio Brown because Brown was just done with the Steelers. So they did trade him to the Oakland Raiders for a 4th round, and I'm drawing a blank on what the other one was. I think it was a 5th. And interestingly enough, the Patriots offered better draft picks than that to the Steelers. They offered a 2nd and 4th round, but the Steelers turned it down because they're too petty to make a trade with the Patriots because they are such rivals. And in the end, they kind of just robbed themselves because he ended up going to the Patriots anyway, and they didn't get the better draft capital. But then he goes to the Raiders, and then, he has some practices that he's skipping. He has this whole helmet issue where he's trying to file grievances against the NFL for not letting him wear the helmet he wants to. He most recently gets in a fight with the Raiders general manager. He threatens to punch him. He's throwing racial slurs at him. Just a multitude of different things. He recorded over his call with the Raiders head coach and posted it. And then Brown reportedly made an emotional apology to the Oakland Raiders, the staff, the players, everyone. But they still did fine Antonio Brown for really all of the issues that, were occurring. And that makes total sense. It makes total sense that they fine him, and, he did need some type of punishment, but because of that, he was actually missing out on the $29 million of guaranteed money because of that fine, and for Antonio Brown, that seemed that it was the last straw. He basically told the Oakland Raiders, you know what, I want to be released, and he said it on an Instagram post, funny enough. So the Oakland Raiders, within a couple hours, they did just that. They released him. A video actually came out of Antonio Brown, reacting to him being released, and he was super happy, super hype, and within a couple hours of the Raiders releasing him, the Patriots signed him. And of course, people, making up these, potential stories on how they already knew, the Steelers were not going to trade Antonio Brown to the Patriots. It wasn't going to happen. So Bill Belichick tells Antonio Brown to sign with another team, be a diva, create drama, have issues, so they release you and then sign with us. Now, I highly doubt that's the truth, but it is definitely funny to think about. Now, on to the more serious stuff. What do I think about this? What do I honestly think about the Antonio Brown signing? And, if a lot of you watched my previous video when I talked about Antonio Brown coming to the Patriots, you'll know that I ultimately said I don't think it's going to happen. You'll hear about, Patriots being rumored, but I just didn't think it was going to happen, and I wouldn't know exactly how to feel. Now, I will say that since the signing has happened and I've been able to think about it, I am happy about the signing. But ultimately, he does carry a lot of baggage, obviously. He has a lot of drama going on surrounding him with the media. Now that's going to be involved with the Patriots. And the Patriots have done so good with staying out of the media and trouble and all that for the most part this offseason. So now you're going to just have to expect that a lot of that is going to come in here to New England because they did sign Antonio Brown, who has been the biggest drama, presence in the entire NFL. Now, AB is definitely super hype about joining the Patriots. He's posted 3 or 4 pictures involving him and the Patriots ever since he was signed, so he definitely wants to be a Patriot. The first one was something with Tom Brady, like Let's Get 7, Patriots Way, LFG, posting him and, some cartoon pictures of him in Foxborough. But from a football standpoint, I am just ecstatic, all right? Because it does not get really any better than this. And I'm already going to say this is the best Patriots roster that we have ever seen, all right? I know a lot of people like to hype up that 2007 season, but down the road, This year is going to be a year where we hype up, where we say, do you remember the 2019 roster? The Patriots defense is already going to be stellar. It's already going to be shut down. The biggest thing was the Patriots offense, okay? The receivers, how they're going to do in the passing game. That was a big one. But now the New England Patriots have Julian Edelman, who is literally a postseason god. Then you have Josh Gordon, who led the NFL in yards in, 2014, in which he only played 14 games that season. Then you have Demaryius Thomas, who ranks third in the NFL in receiving yards. And now you have Antonio Brown, who ranks first. Not to mention that, of course, you will have N'Keal Harry down the road as long as the Patriots do decide to bring him back. And really, I cannot name a better time that the New England Patriots have had this good of a receiver group, okay? And we weren't even talking about guys like Jacoby Myers or Philip Dorsett. Mix that in with the fact that we have the GOAT of Tom Brady, who I don't even need to say anything for him to be great. And then you mix that in with the Patriots backfield. Sony Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead, Damian Harris. All of these guys are going to make this offense just so unstoppable. And now you have a defense who can shut down other offenses. Get the ball turned over so that our offense has more opportunities to put points on the field. And yes, although Antonio Brown is not a tall guy, he's only about 5'10", he still is very good in the red zone, and the Patriots need that. Rob Gronkowski's gone, and they have a lot of other guys, Josh Gordon, N'Keal Harry when he comes back, Demaryius Thomas, Jacoby Myers. They all are tall guys that the Patriots have, and it's okay that the Patriots still have, Julian Edelman and now Antonio Brown, who are some still smaller guys, because they can still get the job done, and they've proven it. What I will compare this to for Patriots fans is sort of like a Josh Gordon situation, because at this point, that's kind of where Antonio Brown has put himself. And what I mean by that is just to be cautious with your expectations, because we're always talking about, we don't know what's going to happen with Josh Gordon. We always need a reinsurance policy because he can go again at any time. He can fall back on drugs. He can fall back on alcohol. He can be out of the NFL within a blink of an eye. But at the same time, the same thing is possible with Antonio Brown. One wrong move, one wrong word, one wrong action, and Antonio Brown, you're out of here. And I'm going to be really curious to see how Antonio Brown does with the best quarterback of all time. Because, look, I'm not here to hate on Ben Roethlisberger. He's a good quarterback, but he's not one of the best in history. Okay, he's not Dan Marino. He's not Peyton Manning. He isn't Tom Brady. And with an offensive mastermind like Josh McDaniels, I can only imagine the types of offensive play packages that he's going to put together for Tom Brady. And it's funny that before really the offseason started and the signings and the trades and the draft, that a lot of people had the Patriots going, a mere 11-5. But if this team is able to stay healthy, this is definitely better than the 2007 season where they went undefeated. And I'm not trying to say they're going to go undefeated, but food for thought. Antonio Brown will bring everything for the Patriots that you are looking for, whether that's a down-the-field threat, whether that's a guy who's able to just shake off passes or shake off defenders, make really good catches, whether that's in the air, whether that's keeping the feet in there on the sideline, or whether that's just being a quick slant and gaining yards after contact. Antonio Brown can just do it all. And of course, again, he gives you that special teams ability, which we all know Bill Belichick is insane about. If you were worried about our offense, I definitely hope that this makes you feel a whole lot more secure with the team. But that is it for today's video, guys. The New England Patriots have signed one of the best wide receivers in the game. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys would like to grab some Patriots Global merch, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Make sure you guys like this video and also subscribe if you guys are not already. We're going to be having one hell of a 2019-2020 season, and you guys are definitely going to want to ride on this with me, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows we can go to the Patriots Global family, and other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.